What's up guys, Dan here, Coalcracker. Today we're going to be looking at our T60 Micro. So before we get into the changes we made with the T60 Micro, let's just talk about the T60 in general. Why is this the best emergency shelter on the market? So our goal when developing the T60 was to ultimately make an emergency shelter that was reusable, extremely durable, extremely lightweight and packable, and then also something that can be set up very easily in adverse weather conditions, and this is what we came up with. The entire T60 line of shelters set up very quickly and easily, hence the name T60. The same as when we think of a spaceship taking off, T minus. So T minus 60 seconds, you'll be able to have this shelter up and ready to go in a lean-to configuration. So to set up the T60 is a very simple process. Simply deploy it from its built-in storage bag, take the tie-out lines that are already sewn into the tarp, tie them to one tree, and then pull the tarp over and set it and tie it to another tree. Using then the sewn-in ribbon loops, simply stake out the tarp into a lean-to configuration. It's literally that easy. Now, after thousands of T60 sold and a lot of feedback from customers, a few things that they asked for was a little bit smaller footprint of a tarp and also a more concealable tarp for bug-out bags, get-home bags, and emergency preparedness kits. So that's where the T60 Micro came into play. So when we talk about features of the T60 Micro, the first thing that we did that's going to stand out the most is that we added a camouflage color to it. This is going to help with keeping that low profile, more stealth type camping situation when out in the woods. Plus, we all love camouflage, right? Secondly, we downsized the bag a little bit. This is going to give the end user a little bit more packability with this thing. So if you're thinking about a bug out bag or a bug out kit, or even something just like an emergency preparedness kit for your everyday carry, you're going to put a fanny pack on. This thing is already small and condensed. It's going to fit in there absolutely perfectly. You can see here it just fits right away in a pocket like it's not even there. So you always have a shelter system with you when you're traveling in the outdoors. And then the last thing that we changed with the T60 Micro was the overall footprint of it. So with a lot of revisions and a lot of playing around in the woods with different sizes, what we came up with is keeping the same length of 84 inches. We felt that that was a good width for the shelter because even the tallest of the people still have ample room inside. But what we did take away was some of the width. So front to back of the shelter, we reduced that down to 53. So not too much, just a few inches from our original shelter design. But what that's going to do for users that are looking for a more low profile setup is it's going to allow them to bring the front of their shelter down closer to the ground, and it's going to eliminate more sag. So as we lower that, generally with a bigger shelter, we get sag, and it seems like the shelter's smaller. Although it's not, it just appears that way on the inside due to the sag. Taking those few inches out eliminates some of that, and that way you can get it nice and low, especially if you're using this with like a sleeping bag or you're trying to hide using this shelter. It's going to keep that low profile and it's going to benefit you in the end. All right, so let's go over some of the specs itself on this T60 Micro. So the packaging, it's built on, so you're not going to lose the bag, anything like that. That's not going to happen. We're looking at 5 inches across from hand to hand and then 4 inches high, but this is also still compressible. So if you use something like a Ranger band or some elastic, you can even get this thing way smaller, okay? But it fits really nice in this pouch, and like I said, it's built in. Weight of this thing is 5.6 ounces, so super lightweight. The material is called xenon material, okay? It is super durable. The original from years and years ago, I left out for over 2 years. The only issues that we had with it was a little bit of fraying around the edge, and that was because it wasn't sewn. So the material is super durable. You can use it over and over again. Water resistant. It's going to hold back all that precipitation that can hit you. And then size wise, you're looking 84 inches in length and then 53 from the front of the shelter to the back of the shelter. Now the shelter itself, when you open this thing up, you're going to see there's tie-out lines which are sewn into 2 of the corners of the shelter. These go up and against and tie to a tree, and then on the back side of the shelter there are going to be sewn in loops out of nylon ribbon, okay? So these things are gonna be super durable. You can put lots of tension and pressure on these things. As far as tent stakes go, you can carry tent stakes with you if you'd like. We like to take just longer sticks, jam them through there in the ground, and you will be good to go. So all the traditional features you look for in the T60, just with those upgrades that we talked about just before. So if you're interested in the T60 Micro, we put the link down in the description. You can get yours today at Coalcracker Bushcraft.com. And then until the next video, gear up and stay in the woods.